2 years ago, I turned 40, and the same year I became a father for the first time. It forced me to think very seriously about what it actually means to be a man and to provide for your family. After speaking with some friends, I realized that most men make the assumption that to provide for your family financially, you need to earn more. But as a financial consultant, I can tell you that's just not true. There are other ways. So in this video, I'm going to break down 3 ways in which you can provide more for your family financially without working more hours, without feeling more pressure, and without earning a single dollar more. So the first way is to reframe how you see wealth. Most men focus on one number: income. How much do I make? But this single income number without context is just a vanity metric. It might look impressive, but it doesn't offer any meaningful insight. It's just an ego thing. What actually matters is this ratio: how much you make divided by how much you spend. When you think about it this way, everything changes because now you can control 2 variables, not just one. If you really want to be able to provide more for your family, then you need to let go of the idea that it all comes down to income. What matters is results, and the only result that matters is how much you keep. Let me show you what I mean with a quick example. Say there are 3 guys, guy 1, guy 2, guy 3. The first guy makes $88,000 a year and he spends $92,000 a year. So when we divide these numbers, we can see his wealth ratio is 0.95, so it's less than 1. This means he literally can't afford his life. He's in a situation which you might call negative wealth. He's quite literally going in the wrong direction. Now the second guy makes $190,000 a year and he spends $182,000. Again, we divide these numbers, we see his wealth ratio is 1.04. Now that's not bad, it's much better. He can cover his costs, it's greater than 1. But there isn't much room for savings or growth here. He has no buffer, no protection. If he gets hit by some unexpected bill or job loss, he's in serious trouble, and so is his family. The third guy makes $90,000 a year and he spends $65,000. So again, we divide these numbers and we can see his wealth ratio is 1.38. This is so much better. Plenty of room for savings and growth. He has a moat, a layer of protection for him and his dependents. So we can clearly see that even though the second guy makes double what the third guy makes, or the third guy makes only a little more than the first guy, their ability to provide for themselves and their family doesn't depend on how much they make, but on how much they keep. This is the difference between a vanity metric and a sanity metric. One just inflates or deflates your ego, while the other gives you an accurate, realistic account on how you're able to provide. Here's another way to think about it. If you're a company, then a company's profit is not just their revenue, it's their revenue minus their costs. So when a company wants to increase profits, one of the first things they do is they look at their costs. They lay people off, they outsource the work to other side of the world, they close down shops and sell digitally. And the same is true for you. In order to increase your wealth, you can lower your costs. The fastest, most effective way of doing that is to apply the 80-20 rule. The rule is a complete game changer because it enables you to cut costs, increase savings, increase your wealth without cutting the good things from life. Here's how it works. Everything you buy gives you what economists call economic utility. It's basically a level of satisfaction you get from buying or receiving goods and services. A good way to think about it is like this. Imagine you're thirsty and you buy a bottle of water for $2. You drink it, quench your thirst, so your satisfaction level is 10 out of 10. A few minutes later, you buy another bottle of water. It still costs $2, but you're no longer that thirsty, so if you buy it, you still spend $2, but your satisfaction level is much less, maybe just 5 out of 10. The 80-20 rule means that you look through all your expenses, not your obligations, only your wants, and you cut anything that doesn't give you the highest level of satisfaction. So simply list all your spending that falls into what you might call wants, what it is and how much do you spend on it. Then rank each item out of 10. Some will have high numbers and some will have low numbers. Immediately stop spending on anything that ranks below a 5 or a 6. You will save money and continue your life without any major disruption. But this reduction in cost will immediately increase your wealth ratio, which means that it increases your ability to provide for your family financially without earning a single dollar more. But it's worth noting here that a provider doesn't just think about today, they also think about the future, how to put themselves and their family in a position for future upside, for future opportunities. Now this is very important, but most men again make the same mistake in that they think their future opportunities are dependent on how much they make. Your ability to take advantage of opportunities doesn't come down to how much you make. It comes down to your ability and flexibility to adapt and react. And to do that effectively, you need to start with your expenses, not your income. Everyone has 2 types of expenses, fixed expenses and variable expenses. The difference is that variable expenses can be paused and cancelled, like eating out or going on holiday, whereas fixed expenses can't be paused or cancelled, like paying rent or car payments. Neither is good or bad necessarily, but the problem happens when your fixed expenses get out of control. And this is the key idea that most men miss, that your total fixed expenses is your break-even point, and that matters. Your break-even point is the minimum amount of money you need every month just to survive. If you lost your job or had some unexpected bill, then you can cancel or pause or reduce your variable expenses, but you can't with your fixed expenses. That's why your fixed expenses are your break-even point, because no matter what happens, you have to pay them. So the harsh truth here is this. The higher your fixed costs, the higher your break even. And the higher your break even, the less optionality you have. Optionality is your ability to take opportunities for your family. Without optionality, you don't have the ability or flexibility to invest, start a business, change cities, change careers, change your life. A high break-even point makes every opportunity more expensive. You can't take the risk because it costs too much. Let's look at an example to show you what I mean. There are two men, man A, man B. Both make $4,000 a month, same income but different expenses. Man A's fixed costs is rent, $2,200, car payment and insurance, $800, subscriptions and phone debt, $500. So his fixed cost is $3,500 a month. That means man A's break-even point is $3,500 a month. If his income drops below that, he's immediately in trouble. Now man B, he's got rent of $1,400, paid off car and insurance, $300, subscriptions, phone, debt, $300. So his total fixed costs are $2,000. Same income, but man B's break-even point is just $2,000. Now imagine both men get the same opportunity to start a business, invest time instead of money, take a lower paying role with higher upside, whatever it might be. Let's say it costs $1,500 a month in reduced income for 6 months. So for man A, that's impossible. His break-even is $3,500. He simply can't afford the downside. If he makes $1,500 less, then he only has $2,500 to cover a life that costs him $3,500. For man B, it's uncomfortable maybe, but doable. If he makes $1,500 less, then he still has $2,500 to cover his life, which costs him $2,000. Even with reduced income, he survives. Both men have the same opportunity, but both men have different costs. High fixed costs raises your break-even point, and a high break-even point increases the price of opportunity. When opportunities become too expensive, it means then you can't take them. It means that you're not able to take opportunities in the future for you and your family. So the thing to do here is to lower your fixed expenses if possible. This isn't being cheap. This is about being strategic. It's about buying optionality, about buying the ability to be able to seize opportunities for you and them. A good provider also protects against downside. Keeping your family safe in the future should be the only thing that matters. And to do that without earning more money is actually more simple than it seems. It's just a bit overlooked. If you can actually implement this change, then you'll be able to provide for your family no matter what. So the thing is, everyone has a money system, even if they've never written it down. And let's not be a fool. If you don't have a system, that in itself is a system. For most people, and probably you too, this is how your system looks. Income minus obligations minus wants equals savings. So if we break that down, what it basically means is that you get paid, you pay off all your obligations, you spend on the things you want, and if there's any money left over, you save it. You can plug your own numbers in here, but it's like someone earning $5,000 a month, has $3,500 in expenses, $1,000 in wants, and ends up saving $500. They've covered their costs, but there's a big hidden problem here. Savings are what defend you against risk. Unexpected things are guaranteed to happen. You don't know when they're going to happen, you don't know how much you're going to be or for how long they last, but you do know they will happen. Your car breaks down, your roof leaks, you have a medical bill, it could cost you $500 or $5,000. It could happen next week or not till next year. You don't know any of these things, but you know it will cost you when it happens. The thing here is that unexpected problems are non-negotiables. But when saving is what's left over after spending, you make it seem like it's negotiable. There's Christmas, birthdays, good days, bad days. There's always a reason to spend more money. Some months you save $50, some months $500, some months nothing. But this way of managing your finances, this system that you have, is a variable solution to a fixed problem. You negotiate savings, but problems won't negotiate with you. So if you want to be a good provider, then you need to change this system. You need a new equation. This is what a good system looks like. Income minus obligations minus savings equals wants. Now savings come before lifestyle. You move savings from a variable position to a fixed position. You now have a fixed solution for a fixed problem. From now on, every month after you get paid, take care of your obligations, save a fixed amount for emergencies, and then live your life. Do it like this and your system will reflect your priorities as a man to provide for your family now and in the future. So let's recap. You don't need to make more money to provide more for your family financially. You need to control your wealth ratio. Focus on how much you make relative to how much you spend. That's what truly determines your ability to provide. Lower your break-even point. Do this by reducing fixed expenses so opportunities don't cost you your stability. Optionality is everything when you want to earn for your family in the future. And finally, prioritize savings. Make them fixed, non-negotiable. Protect yourself against life's unexpected problems so you can stay calm and keep providing. Do this and you don't just survive, you thrive. You put yourself in a position to provide for your family both now and in the future. You can always look to earn more money, but the truth is that chasing more money won't be the solution. It's changing your financial management system that is.